And I have a voice. I'm here and I have a voice. Hold on. How are you? Good morning, early birds. I have your sign up here, but guess what day we are on today? Do you know? Are you counting with me? What day are we on today? That was yesterday's, in case you were wondering. That was yesterday. So today, I'm making a mess of this. I am. We are on what day? Day 88, aren't we? 8. How exciting. Accidentally erased that top line. So let's fill it in. And today we are learning and going back over what we learned about yesterday, because today we actually did a pretty good job yesterday in learning what we were supposed to learn. But we ended by learning about direct and, I'm keeping it close together, indirect objects. Oh, there we go. Let's get our blue line in there, which has come to be a little bit of a headache. But we need design, don't we? We need fashion. We need things that smell nice. We need design. Day 88, early birds, direct and indirect objects. Do you remember that? And we're also going to get some review done today. We're going to do a little bit, as we have been, as we did yesterday, a little bit of a deep dive into our verbs, right? So, I know, I'm almost all ready. Look at what I have here. You're not going to believe it. My glasses. Oh, I'm sorry. Are my glasses dirty? Because I have my eyeglass cleaner right here, if they are. I'm thinking I'm pretty ready this morning. And guess what else I have? Fresh breath and my coffee. Now, let's make sure that we have everything for you guys, though. Who cares if I have my coffee if you don't have your early bird stuff? But you should. I keep thinking of Whisper. Whisper. I think she wants to tell me something. Like, Whisper. It's so early in the morning for those early birds. How about you whisper? Yeah. How about I whisper? How about it? How about that ABC song? Huh? We did it 2 days in a row. I know. We hadn't done it in a while. Okay. So, what I didn't do was pull up your... I thought I had it and I didn't have it. Your slideshow. So I got up early this morning to make sure that I had everything ready for my early bird. And do you want to know what I did? I started working on my classroom engagement. And I got my entire classroom engagement done, which is really good for me because I decided last night what I was going to do for it. So, you want to know? We're doing mindful meditation. We're learning mindful meditation, how to meditate. Now, I've talked about the benefits of meditation before, but we've never actually done a learning of how to meditate. And I'm going to give you, I don't know. I haven't decided. I probably will set up a room so that we can meditate. But that's not the goal. I'm going to tell you the goals, though. But I'm not going to just, it's engagement. You have to be engaged. So anyway, I was getting that ready. And my coffee ready. And my hair ready. Not bad, huh? Okay. But the one thing I didn't get exactly ready, I got all your slides ready. And I got some other things ready for you. But there it is. But I didn't pull them up on this. So I got to pull them up. I'm going to try and keep my head down. But whenever I keep my head down, I can't see anything. There we go. All right, I'm going to disappear for a minute. Well, I'm going to get this in my head. Now I'm going to disappear. Bye. Okay. All right, early birds, we did a lot of work yesterday. Seriously? Didn't I put the new ones up there? Clearly, I did not. Well, I did on there. No, I didn't. Hold on. Hold on, boys and girls. Oh. This always happens whenever I get up early. I'm just, you'll see. Okay. There we go. We've got our day 88 up now. So we are doing our direct and indirect objects. But if you were here with us yesterday, you would know that we did introduce direct and indirect objects. We're going to do that. Just look at it again because we did it rather quickly. But I I never thought it was a hard concept to understand. You can put your comments below, as I have millions of comments. You can put your comments below and tell me, do you think that these are easy? Do you think the concept of direct objects and indirect objects are easy? Yesterday, we were talking a lot about our sentence structure, right? So what are sentences compared to phrases and compared to clauses, right? So all of that really has to do with whether or not we have a verb, right? So a verb and a subject in it. So a clause has a verb and a subject. It can be dependent or independent, if you remember from yesterday, right? A phrase doesn't have a subject or a verb, right? A phrase, a group of words. What do you mean? What's a phrase? Give me an example. A group of words. Yeah, I know that's a definition of a phrase, but can you give me an example? A group of words. That's an example of a phrase, a group of words. No subject, no verb. I know. Maybe it's clever. Maybe it's just annoying. Like this light. The other one works fine. The little one works fine. It's this big one, which is actually the one that was purchased. The little one was free with the big one. Anyway, I think this lighting is pretty good though right here, right? I don't get so much in my eyeballs with this kind of lighting that I have right now. Yeah, I think it's good. I do. Okay. See how I share everything with you? The lighting, the crew that never shows up. I know. I share everything with you. Because cricket. So when we were talking about clauses, we said clauses could be dependent or independent. And here we've got independent clauses, which can stand alone. It's a sentence all by itself. I don't expect anything else to go with it. They are in green, like I'll teach class outside. I'm planning to join the Peace Corps. Tom is running for senator. His wife is not happy about it. Those are all independent sentences by themselves. Dependent clauses also have subjects and verbs. If the sun comes out tomorrow, sun comes. Where? Out. So there's our subject, sun, our verb comes, but it is still dependent on more information. If the sun comes out tomorrow. After I graduate from high school, it has a subject, I. It has a verb, graduate, but it needs more information. What happens after I graduate from high school? In the third example, Tom is running for senator and his wife is not happy about it. These are two independent clauses as part of the one sentence, right? So the one sentence, Tom is running for senator and his wife is not happy about it. Though there are two clauses in that sentence, there are two independent clauses. They are joined by a what? What are those two sentences joined by? A conjunction. A conjunction. You guys have learned more about conjunctions than you ever wanted to know. Easy as pie, isn't it? And by the way, if you wanted to, they also conjunction, junction, what's your function? That wasn't bad. You got to admit it. It was a little jazzy. Like Jazzy K. Oh! Anyway, there's our conjunctions. And you can go to Schoolhouse Rock and hear a better version of that song, although that was pretty doggone good. That was. Let's continue. We got to get moving here, too. We can't just do review, for Pete's sake. So we learned then that, well, here's a type of sentence that's got an independent and a dependent clause, and another type of sentence that has two independent clauses. And how about just a sentence that doesn't have any, that has only one independent clause? How about that sentence? Well, those are our types of sentences. A simple sentence has one independent clause. A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses that's joined by a conjunction, like number 3, like sentence number 3 there. And a complex sentence is one with an independent clause and a dependent clause, like the first two examples that I have there, right? That have both blue and green in those sentences. That's complex. They have two colors. They're complex. Whisper, whisper. I'm looking at the examples. The house was finally finished when the winter months were upon us. That's a complex sentence, right? The house was finally finished. That's a independent. When the winter months were upon us is dependent on the first part of that sentence. Okay. I'm looking to see if we talked about this. And yes, we did. And that's why I have day 87 on there. But all of a sudden I was drawing a complete blank because we went into those each individually. The one that we haven't gone into separately yet is linking. So we'll take a quick look at that. Auxiliary verbs, that's a helping verb, right? So our verbs in these sentences are in green, and then the example of the verb type is in blue. So at the very bottom there, we have auxiliary verbs. If I keep going to the bottom, why didn't I put it at the top? Well, I did it according to our encyclopedia on this, right? So our Southwestern Encyclopedia. So, and this was the order that they gave it. So auxiliary verbs. So here are different verb types. Auxiliary verbs are helping verbs, like will is the helping verb for go. It gives us a verb tense, the future. We have talked about action verbs and linking verbs. Action verbs can be transitive or intransitive. Transitive has an object, an action verb that has an object. Judy put back the candy bar. Intransitive has no object. It's an action verb with no object. The boys left. Linking verb links the subject and its predicate. It's not an action verb. What it does is it links. It tells us more about the subject. I'm going to go to something else. I'm going to go to those linking verbs. And then we'll go back a little bit. So more about verbs. These are verb complements. Verb complements. What do linking verbs do? Linking verbs tell us more about the subject. They link the subject with the predicate. The predicate might be one word. The predicate might be a phrase that tells us something more about the subject. Okay? All right. So these are linking verbs like are, is, were, okay? Was. Those are linking verbs that tell us more about the subject. What do they tell us? I don't know. The boys are looking for the camera. That tells us something that they are doing, right? So it tells us more about the boys. They are looking for a camera. So let's take a look at these examples here. So linking verbs, which they're called, see, compliments there. It's not like, oh, you're pretty, although it is, you are pretty, right? It is that. It is, but compliment, when I say you are pretty and that's a compliment, that is COMPLIMENT. This compliment here, up there, that compliment in the title right there is spelled with an E, COMPLEMENT. If I give you a compliment, COMPLIMENT, you are pretty, that's COMPLI, right? Compliment. I like compliments. That's how we remember, all right? And I just made that up, although somebody probably said it a long time ago. Or I thought it a long time ago. I like compliments, so that's how I remember. Use the I. This kind of compliments I always remember is, I'll move closer like this, is to complete. And complete has an E. To complete. So we're completing the subject of the sentence. We're completing the thought that is about the subject. Sarah is pretty. Pretty completes or links or complements with an E, Sarah. Get it? Gets a little complicated. Those compliments and compliments. It's making my head spin. There's so many compliments. Okay, stop laughing at your own jokes. It's unbecoming. I'm unbecoming what? Predicate noun or predicate adjective. See, there are two differences there. Predicate noun or predicate adjective. I should underline those, and that's exactly what I think that I'm going to do. A predicate noun is a noun that completes. There we have the complements. That completes the meaning of the verb by linking it to the subject. All right? So it links it to the subject using a what? Using a noun. So is the link that Sarah is pretty, is that a noun, pretty, that I'm linking back to Sarah? Or is that an adjective? Sarah is pretty. Did you guess it? Sarah is pretty. Is that a noun? Look at that. Ta-da! Got those underlined. Is that a noun or is that an adjective? Pretty. That's an adjective that links back to Sarah. Do you see how that works? So what we're doing is we're talking about linking verbs. Linking verb is a kind of verb that links the subject and its verb or predicate, right? It's predicate. It's actually not, it links the subject and the predicate. The verb is a linking verb. Sarah is, the verb is, it links the subject and the predicate. Sarah is pretty. Pretty is the predicate, is pretty is the predicate. It's linking, what is pretty? Pretty is an adjective. So we're looking for the link to either be a noun, is the link a noun, or is the link an adjective? So that's all that we need to know. Benjamin is a lawyer for a firm downtown. Lawyer, is lawyer a noun or is it an adjective? Lawyer is a noun, that's a predicate noun. The rocks are brightly colored and glitter in the sunlight. Are is our verb, colored and glitter. We have two, our helping verbs. All of those verbs I've given you examples of. Remember the transitive and intransitive verbs. Intransitive has no object. The transitive has an object. Remember, that can be a direct object, transitive verbs, an action that affects an object. The direct object, Jimmy gave, that's the verb, is gave, his girlfriend a ring on Valentine's Day. Jimmy gave, giving is an action. What's the object he gave? A ring. That's our direct object. It directly links the action with the object. What did Jimmy give? A ring. The indirect object is to whom he gave the ring, right? Or the word or words that receive the object. Jimmy gave his girlfriend. It's still an object. Both of these are nouns. Why don't we see direct object and indirect object as part of speech, as a part of speech? Why don't we see direct objects and indirect objects as a part of speech? Notice that they're not listed here, right? In our parts of speech. Why not? Do you know why direct objects and indirect objects aren't listed there as parts of speech? Do you know why? Are they a part of speech there? Are our direct objects and indirect objects a part of speech there? They're objects. They're objects. They're things. They're nouns. So, direct objects and indirect objects are a part of speech. They're a specific part of speech. They're a specific part of nouns. Just like we learned about linking verbs and transitive verbs and intransitive verbs and auxiliary verbs are all special parts of verbs, right? Okay, look at what you are learning. Look at what I'm reminded of. Oh my gosh, that's what I love it. My mind just goes, is your mind like that? Like a little Pac-Man, like ching, 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 ching. If it's not, that's why I don't whisper. Just letting you know. If your mind is not like a Pac-Man, that's why I don't whisper. No flavored coffee today. I went back to my regular coffee. Just cream and, stevia, which makes it like ice cream. Makes it like warm ice cream. It's delish. Java ice cream. It's like warm Java ice cream. It's delish. Are you tired of that word? I'm not yet. I'm not. I think it's short and quick and describes it perfectly. Delish. Okay, so isn't that cool what you just learned about that? You're like, hey, yeah, okay, that makes sense. 8 parts of speech. That's all I got to remember is 8 parts of speech, but then I have to remember different things under the 8 parts of speech, like all these 4 verbs. But I can do that. I can remember that. I got it. And objects, okay, under transitive, got it. Intransitive, I don't have to worry about anything because there's nothing linking. It just sort of ends there. Not necessarily, but okay. And now with the linking, I just got to say, is it a noun or is it an adjective? Does it describe or is it a noun? Okay, I got it. Got it. I know. Yeah, we got everything in. But what we didn't get in is our worksheets. So we're going to go back to our worksheets. All right. And we're going to start with our predicate adjective worksheets. All right. So let me do. It's the only way I can do it. By lifting up. There we go. I can go like this. Chin down. Chin down, please. Oh, we did in our Monday class, Early Bird. We were taking a look at our food groups and we were taking a look at nutrition, but that is not the one that I want to look at right now. The one I want to look at is this one. Is that the one I want? Let me make sure. No, it's not. We will look at that one, but there's a lot of repeat stuff in that one. In case you were wondering, why not that one? Because it's this one. Do you remember? Look at it. Look at it. It's like, oh my gosh. What? What is it? Oh, it's just predicate adjectives. That's what it is. Oh my gosh. Do we want to know more about this? Don't we? Okay, so remember what we said. Here, we'll make it a little bit smaller to make it reasonable to see. We'll move this over a bit. So remember the word modifies. All of these were adverbs, adjectives. We use the word in grammar, modify, a lot. It just means describe. We're always describing. We just won't. Sue runs. Sue runs. Big deal. Who's Sue anyway? Sue, who's on the gymnastic team, also runs in order to keep in shape. Well, that just told me a whole lot more about Susan, didn't it? What did I do? All of the words around that sentence of Susan, all of that describes her in more detail, doesn't it? So isn't that what we're doing? We're trying to communicate with other people, but we're trying to communicate in ways that describe. Sue runs. Big deal. No, Sue's also a gymnast. What? And she runs too to keep in shape? Who is this Sue? She's like a Wonder Woman, isn't she? Anyway, I don't know Sue. Not that I don't know Sue's. I just don't know a gymnast who also runs. Might be somebody. I don't know. So do you remember this? Look at all the work that we did on the predicate adjectives that we did. Look at what we did. So we underlined, we highlighted in green. I left it for you to do the rest. But this is highlighting predicate adjectives. And I just had a hard time other than in, kids' books. Let me let you look at those sentences right there. I'm going to be right back. I bought you something. And now's is just as good a time as any. So take a look at and divide your subject from your predicate, and then take a look at what is the predicate adjective. Do that. I'm going to get you something that I bought for you, especially for this class for you. The further I get away, the more I have to yell. Did you get those? Did you figure those out? The predicate adjectives there? Were you able to do that? You guys are just, really, we have just accomplished a whole bunch in this classroom. So if you are able to do that without a lot more explanation, identify the subject, the predicate, and the predicate adjective in that sentence, you have really come a long way if you didn't know that before we started. Only 88 days to do that. What did I buy for you? I bought this, and as I was just doing this with you, I was thinking that there likely are in these level books. So I'm continuing, and you could be anywhere from kindergarten, you can even be younger in this class, up to fifth grade, learning a lot. But when I'm talking about transitive verbs, a kindergartner's, hopefully eating her Rice Krispies or whatever she's eating, right? Because she's probably not understanding the transitive part of this. So you could be on a variety of reading levels, but these classes can still be for you, and what you're learning can still be for you, right? Grammar really is, a lot of these grammar exercises I got from at kindergarten level. Some of these. So my point is that if you're not reading, and this is actually more for adults than anyone, if you're still not reading, you need to get back to your sight words is what you need to do. But don't be, I bought this. I'm reading. I know how to read. I'm reading some pretty complicated stuff from Norton's Anthology of Literature. But so I can walk into a store and buy a level 2 book and not be embarrassed about it. So an adult who can't read and then goes and looks and buys these level 2 books, they might be embarrassed, but nobody knows. How do they know you're not a teacher like me, right? So pick these up. And as I was saying that, so I've been wanting to show you this level 2 book that I picked up, so that gave me a reason. But as we were talking, I thought probably in these, I would probably have more examples of predicate nouns. You've always liked my clubhouse flag. That's a good one. You've always liked my clubhouse flag. Flag is a noun. Like is a linking verb, past tense, right? You is our subject, linking it to flag. I knew I could find one here. I'm not even going to go for another one. Here's another one. Is this cute vest really yours, Arthur? Now, that's a question. If we put it in a statement, this is Arthur's cute vest. Vest is the noun. It's describing what did I say? Yeah, vest is a noun. Yeah, it's describing Arthur's, whatever Arthur's wearing, right? So it's describing Arthur. Vest is a noun. Is the linking verb. Is this cute vest really yours? Yours. It's and yours is Arthur, right? So yours is the subject, Arthur. This vest is yours. Yours is this. Yeah, doesn't work. But you get what I'm saying. Vest is the noun, and it does work if I were to make vest the predicate instead of the subject. This vest is yours, which still works because yours is not a noun, but it's a pronoun describing the vest, which is the subject. See? Cuckoo, cuckoo. Claire is mud. Whisper. Hi, Whisper. How many times have I said your name? I hope you get I don't know. I was going to say $50 every time I say your name, but hope you get more than that. Okay. We're almost ready. We're almost set on time. What we're going to be coming back to is looking at these. So much of these have been review, our worksheets. So we're gonna plow through our worksheets, and in fact, we can look at that. So hopefully by now you get the idea of this, since we've done it in the past. And you can take a look at our segments that we've done verbs, when we've done our verbs. Which was on day 54, but we spent a lot of time on those. So, but you'd probably see predicate adjectives right around, I think, day 56. We were plowing into verbs on day 56. So check that out where we've got a lot more information and you can see where we actually did these if you don't understand. So let's go. I pulled that up and all of this has been reviewed. So take a look at where we started here. So we started with our review with noun and verbs. We talked about two parts of our sentences and we did more of that to separate our subject and our predicate. And another example in a different way of our complete subject and complete predicate. There's our predicate adjectives that utilize linking verbs. And then we talked about tense, and these are present simple tense verbs. So picking out and knowing what is the present tense verb. You can see we did all of those. A couple of them we typed in, but all of them we circled except for that last one. And then I left you with another page here where you could, oops, that's not it. Or you could complete those, right? And you can see your verb choices are in parentheses at the end of those sentences. We have subject-verb agreement. We did this as well. On our other profile, we actually do have that one. Hold on, I don't have it up here. If you remember, we worked on this. So here are some of our answers, and we've already talked about this one as well as a review. There we go. Okay, let me go back. And these are all from education.com, but these are two different sets for two different ages. All right. So it doesn't really matter. I could go back to the other set, and I am going to go back to the other set just to show you. It doesn't really matter. But here they are just two different sets from education.com of worksheets. That one is, I think, for second grade and the other one is for third grade, but they really have very similar worksheets in them. We're going to go back to the other one just quickly and take a look at here the pronoun use, right? So dad and I would be we. So here, what are our directions? Pronouns can take the place of nouns as the subject of a sentence. Subject pronouns include he, she, we, they, and it. Example, Peter poured cereal into his bowl. He poured cereal into his bowl. Now, this worksheet we haven't done before. And so I do think that if you really would like some practice, or maybe you just aren't sure about grammar in general, and so maybe you just really want to boost up your feelings or confidence about your grammar, this is probably a good idea or a good way to do that. I'm going to just copy this. And so now we're going to use this for our sentence over here. So Katie carried a pitcher of milk. Katie carried a pitcher of milk. Our pronoun would be what? Katie is a she. Likely. She carried a pitcher of milk. And we're just going to go with with the odds over here. Dad let me stir the waffle batter. Dad let me stir the waffle batter. What would our pronoun be? He, she, they, it, we, he, right? He. So you can go through these The pitcher was too heavy for Katie. So we're continuing with the idea of pitcher and Dad making breakfast, right? That's probably a good way to go down it, right? Dad and I made breakfast this morning. We made breakfast this morning. Dad let me stir the waffle batter. He let me stir the waffle batter. Waffles are my favorite food. What would the pronoun be for that? Waffles are my favorite food. We are my favorite food. Gosh, no, I hope not. They are my favorite food. So you can continue on and finish up and start. Then my little sister, Katie, wanted to help and then continue on with Katie. And you've got a whole story right there filled with nouns and pronouns, right? Okay. All right. This is Dr. Annette Feravich. We are all done with our early bird classroom this morning. I went a little long because I want to fill up your time for you. I want to fill up your 45 minutes for you. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'm the teacher. This has been the early bird classroom. We are learning more and more about grammar. Are we going to diagram sentences tomorrow? Oh, I better shut up. Okay. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. I hope. There's my.